How is it that you actually cut ties with a client before a contract is up? Hi guys, my name is Deepak Shukla, founder of the Pearl Group. We're a business growth and development agency based in the UK, USA, as well as serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 58, we're here to talk about basically cutting things short with a client because it's really just not working out. Now, if you need any support with your communications with your clients as well as internally, please do reach out to us at Pearl Lemon. And furthermore, before we dive into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 7 additional strategies that are not shared in this training. So look, fundamentally, when it comes to cutting ties with a client before a contract is up, first of all, let's investigate why you might do that. Now, you'll do that probably because the client is difficult to work with. It could be difficulty, number one. It could be difficulty of person, that could be number one. Number two, it could be difficulty of service, that could be number two. Number three, it could be inflated expectations, that could be number three. And then number four, which really shouldn't be happening, but number four should be like enjoyment of the campaign. But that's probably more of a business owner one potentially. But let's talk about each of those elements. A difficulty of client, client is rude, client is aggressive, client is hyper non-responsive. As a consequence, client gets bad results. These are some of the client is too needy. These are some of the examples where it's not making sense. Okay. Then it's difficulty of service where you're trying but you can't deliver. In those times, often a client would be happy to cut ties before a contract is up because it's just not working. So we won't really cover that in any great level of depth because if you can't deliver, then it's likely that client is unhappy. But ahead of time, if you're able to discover you can't deliver, then you would probably need to give some level of full or partial refund depending upon how far into the campaign you are and what the general feeling is when it comes to level of effort. But there are a couple of the considerations that come into play when you're thinking about cutting a contract short. Now, if, for example, it's, as we discussed, a difficult client, then, or a difficult service, and the client is happy for you to still continue, there might be, or you say yes to something, you sign it up, and you discover that it's too much work, so the reward versus or the effort versus the return ratio isn't there. Then, in some elements, when it comes to cutting ties, I think that in this environment you can take it two routes fundamentally, or three, and the routes kind of are the same to a degree. So let's just because think of it a little bit like a breakup, okay? Like breaking up with a partner. So you can do it over email, do it over video call or voice call. You can do it over a message voice note. That's WhatsApp. So look, when you do it over email, you can put together all of your reasons and rationale. Now, a lot of which you pick depends upon the current relationship you have with the client. If it's an email only client, then that medium could be the same. If you do a lot of calls with that client, then sticking consistently to the medium that you're using does make sense. Okay. Now, if you are depending upon the medium, if it's going to be a surprise to the client, then you might want to switch the medium. So you can typically, if you talk to the client all the time, you have to keep the medium the same. If you email, you can call, so you can go up, but you shouldn't go down. So what I mean by that is if you send a lot of WhatsApp voice notes back and forth and it's quite a casual relationship, then I would stick to WhatsApp voice notes back and forth, and or I would call the client to just give them your thoughts as to why you want to cut ties. Now, if it's a difficult client, you can say something along the lines, "Hey Richard, Frank here. So Richard, look, I've had to think about this campaign, and on balance, I just think it's better that we tie it up right here. I think it's a difficult campaign, and from if I'm being honest, from a relationship perspective, we probably aren't the best match for each other when it comes to the success of your campaign. And ultimately, I want every client that I work with to be happy working with us and vice versa. And I just don't think it's quite there at the moment. So I feel you're going to get a better level of service that's suited to you with another business. So with that in mind, and let me pause now, guys. So I don't think we're a good fit is a great expression. I think you'll get a better level of service at another company is a great expression. And I want ultimately what's best for you is a great expression. So they're all a little bit to a degree kind of breakup lines, but it's definitely less emotional than a relationship breakup, even though it is a relationship breakup. So those elements definitely become important to it. And then what you want to be sure of at the end is if this is something you definitely want to do, don't leave a road back. Okay, so sometimes what happens is they'll say, look, what we could do is do X, Y, Z instead. If you're sure you want to cut ties and not use it as a, for example, negotiation gambit to get a better contract or reduced expectations, then that's a different thing. But if you're looking to fundamentally cut ties, then in those instances, you really just need to be clear and unequivocal in the look. So it's best we tie it up here, or so I don't think that we're quite the right fit. So I'm going to be wrapping up the contract today. So for clarity, what I plan to do is XYZ, which is send you an overall campaign summary. I'll continue to service the campaign for 1 more week to allow you to make a transition. I'd even go out and speak to 1 or 2 more agencies to find potentially someone who's a better fit if you like. So organizing basically a handover, number one, and signposting that, organizing a last day of service, number two, and organizing that, offering to find an alternative provider. They'll probably refuse, but you can just introduce the question. You can organize that, and wrapping these all into the cut ties conversation makes it a much softer blow because it does demonstrate that you actually care. So I would definitely look at, and let's just put this into here, bear with me. Give some notice. So we'll wrap up this week, and don't be clear it's ending. So look guys, not oh, well, you saw that there was a four there, which is hand over the campaign materials. Be clear that it's ending. Now, you want to make sure that again it's not used as a negotiation gambit, and you want to be clear that it's ending. Notwithstanding any challenges that will happen from a contractual perspective, i.e., there's additional money owed or anything like that, or a penalty. This should all be completely fine. So do it, go up, but don't go down when it comes to the mediums that you use. Email, video, voice message, voice note is fine. Prepare the campaign materials, give them some notice where it's needed, be clear that it's ending, and be mindful of using the good classic kind of not the breakup questions, but I don't think this is working out. I don't think you're getting, I think there's someone that's a better fit there for you. We're not quite getting along. It's been challenging, and I'm not sure I'm going to get you to where you want to be. All of these types of lines are perfectly acceptable, and that should be everything. So guys, please do comment in the description, in the boxes below with your takeaways. Like if you're enjoying this video, and please do subscribe to the channel if you're getting value from it. Thank you so much.